Hello, this is a review of the Lomoinstant square glass. I've put about 2 packs of film through this so far, and so this will be a first impressions video. I will post more updates at the 100 and 1000 shot marks. I bought this camera just a month or two ago and use it to capture memories. The instax square film is great for writing on with Sharpie, for adding captions and other things. As you can see here, I've got a small collection of photos already. Now, talking about the camera itself, I'm going to skip the technical features as I'm sure you've already heard all of them. First, my thoughts on the camera. It's a super unique instant camera with its fold-out bellows design. As you can see here, it folds out with a satisfying ping and locks itself into place via this bar right here. Now, I've heard other people complain about poor build quality, but personally, I'm not seeing that. Everything seems to be well built and fits well, at least for now. The rubbery material on some parts of the camera does seem a bit flimsy, such as the bits back here, which as you can see are starting to scrape off after the camera was just placed in my backpack. So those parts do seem to be a bit worn out, but they're not key to the camera's function, so I don't really count it against the camera itself. Now, onto the things I like about this camera. I love the accessible settings on the back over here, as you can see. Everything's accessible with the press of a button. One of the things I like the most about this camera is that you can force the flash off over here. By pressing the button, you can either turn the flash off or turn it on. Many instant cameras out there don't even give you this feature, and the ability to force the flash off is great in situations where you want to do some stealth shooting, or if you don't like the highlights or the color of the flash. In addition, there's also a small insert right here. I don't know if you can see, yeah, right there, where you can put color gels in front of the flash to give your flash color. I personally don't really use this a lot, so I can't really speak on its effectiveness. The film door is easy to open, the film loads smoothly, and there's no issues there. I can't open it right now, as you can see there's a pack of film inside, but I haven't had any problems with loading or removing the film. The film ejects smoothly with no issue. I know that the bigger brother of this, the Lomoinstant Wide, that one has a lot of issues with film ejection. This camera has no such issues, and it ejects film just fine. However, note that in the manual it says that film might not eject properly if the batteries are low, and so if you get that low battery indicator, make sure to replace your batteries. I recommend using rechargeable batteries so that you don't have to just keep throwing them out. Another great feature is the tripod thread at the bottom, as you can see right here. This lets you mount the camera to a tripod for a long exposure, which is especially useful because this camera has a bulb mode. As you can see under the A, there is a B, and this is the bulb mode. In other words, the camera shutter will remain open for as long as the shutter button is pressed. There's also LEDs on the side right here telling you how many shots you have. As you can see, I have 3 out of 10 shots remaining, and this feature is super helpful so that you don't have to constantly remember how many shots are still left in your camera. The viewfinder has a small unshaded square. Let me see if it'll focus. Okay, there we go. Yes, you can't see it right now, but there is a small shaded piece of glass inside, and this helps you correct for the parallax. And so, personally, because of this, I haven't found parallax to be an issue at all, whereas others have complained about it. Personally, I think it's okay. After all, for instant film, the goal of the picture isn't really technical perfection. The camera also has a remote control in this part right here. You just pull it out. It has, the auto is just for your normal shooting, and then the time is for your bulb exposures. I haven't gotten around to using this yet, but I imagine it would be really helpful in the future. In addition, this camera also has strap lugs on the side. As you can see, I currently have a strap attached to it, and this just allows you to, hold on, there we go. Okay, and so the strap lugs allow you to sort of hook the camera on a strap, so you don't need a bag or anything else to carry it. And finally, the shutter is this button right here. Yes, this button, the Lomo button. It has a very satisfying click, and it's also nice and shiny and placed in a good position. Overall, I quite like it. However, I do have some minor gripes about this camera. First, the flash always defaults to on whenever you turn on the camera. As you can see here, the flash is currently on. If I turn the camera off and then turn it back on, you can see that the flash simply reactivates and turns back on. And so every time you'll have to press the button to turn the flash off. Second, whenever you open the camera, as you can see here, the focus always defaults to this 1 to 2.5 meters range. And I've lost quite a few shots to this. If you're shooting anything that's not immediately in front of you, you will have to remember to set your focus to infinity, as you can see here. I don't know why they did this, because when the camera is folded up, hold on, there we go. As you can see, when the camera is folded up, it defaults to infinity. So I'm not sure why they made it default to the 1 to 2.5 meters when the camera folds out. The aperture is also quite narrow, which kind of sucks when taking pictures in dim places. It's an f10, and so if it's kind of dark outside and you don't want to use your flash, then you'll probably have to carry a tripod. But all in all, I feel like this camera is a pretty good purchase. I managed to get this off the Lomoinstant website for just a little bit over $100. I think it was around $109. And so even with this with all of its flaws, this camera is still great for the money. In addition, this camera has a unique feature that no other instant camera has, in that if you spend the extra $50 for another film back, you can get the Instax Mini back. And so this camera can be converted to shoot Instax Mini film or square film. Anyway, I hope you found this short video helpful. Bye.